Hello, geeks and buddies. Welcome back. In tonight's hack, we are going to see how we can be able to remotely access a PC, any Windows PC, using the tool Quadic. This is for ethical hackers. Its purpose is for educational purposes only, not for any malicious activities. So let's get started. So I'm going to use my Kali machine in a VirtualBox to access my Windows PC. So let's get started. We are here in the Kali Linux. Just open a terminal. Open a terminal. And then when you open the terminal, we want to use a tool Quadic. So you just enter the Quadic here. And then we see it opening here. We see options. Yeah. And we come here. When you come here, there's something that we need. Oh, you can see here that we have servers host. This servers host 192.168.8.114. This is the IP address of my current machine. We are going to use the port 9999, and we can verify whether this is my Kali Linux IP address by checking it out here. You can say new window, and then we say if config. When we say if config, we can be able to see, can be able to check it. This is it is this one 192.168.8.114. That is my IP address of the Kali machine. So one thing about the IP address is that right now we are currently in version 4, the Internet Protocol version 4, though now we got even the IPv6, Internet Protocol version 6, which is coming up. And the importance of this IP address is that it identifies you over the internet. In order for you to connect, to be connected with the internet, you have to have your IP address. And even if you have different machines, you have different IP address. And if I move from New York to India, I'll have a different IP address depending on the internet service provider. And the only thing that does not change is the MAC address. MAC address is permanent, it's from the manufacturer, it does not change. So we need to change this one endpoint here. So let's say set endpoint we see we have changed it, so we say run, enter. Yeah, and that's what we have now. Now this information, we need to log this information in the PC that we want to have, the Windows PC. So this information here is the one that we need in order to be able to control or to create a zombie. So we are going to open our Windows machine using the CMD. Yeah, we are going to use the CMD. CMD here, we check for CMD. For the CMD here, we check for the CMD. Yeah, we need to check for the CMD. We run it as administrator just to avoid problems or hiccups. Run as administrator, then we open it. We open it. Yes, we say yes. And then here we go. Here we go. So when you get here, what we need to do is type MSCA. Text protocol, then we enter the IP address of our Kali machine, .8.114, and then colon. Then our port, the port that we are going to use, will be 99. 999. Then we use slash and say the calc, and then we hit enter. Then when we hit enter, we should be able to see those things happening there. And then we go back to our carry machine. And as you can see, we have already created a Zubi. Now this Zubi has the name Zubi 0 because it is the only Zubi that we have here, and we start counting from 0. So that Zubi's name is JTech System. My PC, you see, this is the Windows 10 Pro. So now we can be able to interact with this Zubi now. It is our Zubi, it is at our service. We can be able to interact with it. You can say, like, for example, CMD cell 0. CMD cell 0. CMD cell 0. Now we are already inside our Zubi. That is the window machine now. We can be able to interact with it. You see now, we can, for example, say IP config. We want to find out the information about the IP address of this Zubi that we have created. So you just say IP config, then you hit enter. Then you see all this information is from our Zubi. All this information, we're accessing it from our Zubi. We can see that the IP address of this Zubi, we can find it. We can find it here. We see all these. These are the information. This is the information about our Zubi. Information about our Zubi. Our Zubi IP address is 192.168.8.113. Now that is the Windows IP address. And if we go back to the Windows, we can be able to verify that this is indeed the IP address of the Windows PC. So you can say if IP config, sorry, IP config. You can see it here. This is the IP address of the Zubi that we just created. Now we come back here. We can continue to interact. We can continue to interact with this Zubi that we have created. We can do other things. We can do other things like fishing. Let's see what else we can do with it. Let us first hit the exit. We exit from here so that we can see what else we can do with it. And then we can say use implant. Then we hit tab again, tab. You see all these options that we have here. We have more options. We can elevate, gather, manage, fish. But let us use fish. Let us use fish and see what we can do. We use the fish, see what we can do. If we use fish, see, we can use fish here. We see what we can do about it. Fish. And then hit tab again. We have a password box here. Now, as we are having the password box, so again, if we say options, if we say option, let's see what we can do with fish. Options. We have a description here. We have things that we can do. As you can see here, display to the user, there's the Zubi to target. You must enter why, yes. These are the things that we can do. So let's see what we want to do here, what we can use here. We see what we can do. Yeah, this is Kali Linux. It's a very powerful machine. This one, we can use it to display to the user, telling them to enter the password. And the password that he or she enters, we got it. We are the hackers. This JTech hack, man. Let's continue. Then what you need to do is to set Zubi. Set Zubi. Let's see. Set. Going to set our Zubi. Want to see how we can be able to display a message to the user telling him or her to enter the password so that we get the password. We're going to say set Zubi 0. Remember our Zubi is 0, it's number 0. Then we hit enter. And we see what will happen. We see how we can do about it. Once we set the Zubi 0, enter, we have now Zubi 0 now here. So what we need to do is to run it now. Run. We learn it. You see, we have succeeded. Now, this message will display to the user this box here, the prompt box. And anything we type here, we shall be able to see it. Anything that the user enters here. This is how the password gets stolen by the hackers. This is how hackers do to get your passwords. So anything that the user will enter into this box, we shall be able to have it. You see now we are able to display this small box here. We display to the user there. We tell them you must enter your password to continue. So whatever he or she enters here, we shall be able to see it in our Kali Linux. So that's how we can steal the passwords from people. Remember, this is for educational purposes only. Do not go out doing malicious stuff with it. So thank you very much for this whole video. Thank you for watching, for following us. Just like us, follow us, subscribe to our channel, and continue creating more great stuff. So do have a wonderful time. This is JTech here. And we are concerned with hacks. We do hack tricks and many computer stuff. We are cyber warriors and code wizards. We do great stuff here when you come here. So thank you very much. Do have a nice time and enjoy your day. Let's continue coding. Let's continue ELCO hacking. We are cyber warriors. Thank you very much. Thank you very I just remembered that we need to see what this box will do. So if the user, for example, here types hello there, JTech, Hawks, and say click OK. Let's assume that this is the password of the Windows user. So when you type OK, we are able to read it here in our Kali Linux. You see, hello there, JTech Hacks. That's the way we steal the password. Thank you very much. Use the wisdom that you've learned from this one to do good ethical things. Thank you very much.